I'm happy to start this session, and I encourage you to ask your questions in the chat, or maybe you can raise your hand, whatever works the best for you. I'll be able to reply your questions like during the session and at the end of the session. So let me share my screen. Can you see my screen? Yeah, perfect. So I called this session not just Agile for L&D, but more impact, less waste. Why did I call it this way? Because for me, the key goal of implementing of any Agile practice, as any optimization practice, is to deliver high quality product or service with minimizing risks and optimizing resources. So we have less waste, but we bring like more impact. And Valeria already introduced me. Currently, I'm an instructional designer at BVisioneers, the Mercedes-Benz Fellowship. This is a global fellowship. We have also my colleague here, Alondra. I see you. Hi. In my previous role, I was leading an instructional design team, and we were going through our agile transformation inside our team and in general in organization that was IT product company. And I would like to start it from a quick check on where we now on this agile scale. So just I will share the link in the chat, and you can go to this Mentimeter. You can also use the QR code. Wait a second, I'm sharing the link. Yeah, so 3 simple questions, just to see like the general picture of the people who gathered here. Just try to be as honest as possible. Does it work? Yeah, I see the link works. Perfect. Okay. Let it be 1-2 minutes. So just rate how much is it about you? Are you more about following a set plan or adapting as you go, finishing first or getting early feedback, and do all big changes at once or small improvements often? Okay, we see it is changing. Interesting. I'm trying to understand this Mentimeter scale. Okay, nice. So I think you're in the right place because most of the people here, they tend more to agility than to traditional project management and traditional approach. So what you see on the left side, this is traditional project management and traditional practices. What you see on the right side, that's more about agility. So today I want to start from like brief introduction, like theoretical introduction to align us in our understanding what is agile, what are agile values, how does it work, how is it different from traditional project management. And then I will be sharing more of my personal experience with like how with our team, with my team, we understood that we needed change, like, and what helped us to implement those changes. And then at the end, we will finalize it with some frequent mistakes. I hope we will have enough time. I'll try not to stop for a long on any slide to get some time for Q&A. So Agile with traditional versus traditional project management. You probably already heard something about it if you're here. But I would like just to give an overview for me, what does it mean to implement Agile when we are talking about it? This means to start working in iterations and in short cycles when after each of this iteration, you already have some deliverable. But actually, that's not everything. Starting doing so, starting working in iterations requires a particular mindset. And I think this first understanding that L&D is a service and like a service function, and learning is a product, help us to set ourselves to this right mindset. So L&D is a service. Why? Because we respond to problem, we create on-demand learning, we think strategically, and we help move from the problem to a solution. And not only to go from a solution, but to keep improving it, as we do with products. So I would say that L&D is a service that delivers products. Like our product is training. Those are toolkits, different learning programs, e-learning on-demand courses, workshops, leadership programs, whatever you do with your team. Like being agile help us to deliver this value faster and to reduce risks on the way there. And what also a product approach means is that we continue working on what we delivered even after we delivered it. So we don't just leave it be and step aside, but this product will keep living in an organization and evolving together with this organization. And well, Agile, here's a bit of a difference between Agile and Waterfall. So Agile is very iterative and we are flexible in planning. We do a lot of feedback loops. And here is an example. Instead of creating a full 10 module course right away, we build one module and we test it, we collect feedback, we make adjustments, and then we populate those improvements to the next modules already. And we do same thing with each module, within each step. And Waterfall, this is more about linear design process when we plan up front and we don't expect much changes. In a second, I will talk a bit more about the risks that Waterfall brings us, but maybe you can just post in the chat or raise your hand if how your learning development process looks like right now. How do you deliver and develop learning products? Is it more iterative in iterative cycles, or you get a request and then after some time you deliver a finished product to requester, to a stakeholder? So is it more agile or waterfall? Okay, waterfall order taking. Combo. Yeah. Actually, it can be combo. I think this is a very like widespread scene. Because in typical products, if, for example, we deliver some type of workshop 10th time or some type of e-learning course, and it's in same format on similar topic, it can be waterfall in this case for it. But for something new, we develop it in more iterative way. So that is seen that there is no some solid recommendation. Do only this way. Do only agile. Work only in iterations. But more of how your team is viewing it, how you can adjust it in the best way to your team's like strategy, routines. I don't know, size even, because if your team is one-person team, probably it will be a bit difficult to work in iteration sometimes. But if it is a team of, I know, 5, 10 people, then it's better to work in iterations than in waterfall. Sorry. Yeah, and here are some risks I see from this solely traditional approach. So first of all, it's quite low flexibility because we can't quickly react to change and implement them. So we can't implement new tools, new innovations, and so on. But regarding innovations, I think it's a totally different topic. Because to start innovate, why am I saying about it now? Because in a lot of times agile somehow associated with innovating, but innovating is not possible without solid ground and without structure that you already built. So to innovate, you should have things in order already and described and working processes, and then you can build on them and innovate. So I think innovation is something that is coming after first agile implementation, and then they can live and evolve together. So then underused team's potential, which is extremely risky because like your team and other teams that exist in this business space you have, they all have different personalities, and they all have they come in from different cultures, different backgrounds, different set of skills, differently approaching problems and how they solve those problems. So if we just close all the developments on one team or on one person, as we do it in waterfall, like because feedback is not involved, so obviously we are not passing the product to someone else, and we are not iterating together and ideating. So we lose this opportunity to get so much input from people who are different from us, from this person who develops it. And of course, it's that courses, that learning that we might have, because after long development, without any feedback, there might not be need anymore. So this learning is no longer relevant, and there is no business need because the needs changed during that time. And if we were developing it in more iterative way, we would adapt to those changes and tailor those learning to new business goals, like easily. And just to summarize this piece, for me personally, Agile is about focusing also on the process and not only on the final result. So the process matters as well as the result we expect to get at the end. Like how sustainable is this process? Do we have business continuity? And how do we manage risks? It's also very important. Then with Agile, we are running marathon and not a sprint. It's like sounds funny because we work with sprints, right? But for long-term impact, that's again about the sustainability that we are building around. Then it's about co-creation, and co-creation brings being human and brings empathy. Also, if we are talking about human-centered design, which is very similar to agile product development, so human-centered design process, they kind of very similar. So that's why empathy is a key element in all of that. And of course, being flexible and resilient. So being able not only to say that, okay, yeah, everything is changing. Now we need to change. I accept it. But inside, I'm tearing apart. I feel devastated. It's very difficult for me emotionally. But no, I can work with it. I can manage my emotions, and I can be effective while changes are on the way. So Agile is about how we respond to change. That's a bit of exaggeration here from the IT crowd, but yeah, I think it fits well, those two gifts. This is how I would describe it. And the last thing, I already said that the last thing was before, but here is Agile values. So Agile values, they are basically guiding your way in implementing Agile practices. And those are 4 key values, which says that individuals and interactions over process and tools, working software over comprehensive documentation, customer collaboration over contract negotiation, responding to change over following a plan. Which means that things on the left are the more important than things on the right. But it doesn't mean that the things on the right are not important, because things on the right, we also need them. We need them to have a solid ground, a base, to then being able to be flexible. Are there any questions, comments, thoughts here until then?
I have
Yeah.
a question.
Cool.
So, Olena, if I want to bring Agile to my team as of tomorrow, what would be your recommendation? How can I start?
Yeah, I will talk about it, but what I would say, don't bring it tomorrow. So, because when I hear tomorrow, what exactly do you mean? Do you mean change everything tomorrow or start small tomorrow?
That's a good one. Tomorrow is more exaggerated example. What I mean is, if I want to bring agile approach to my team tomorrow, meaning in the nearest future, how can I start if they are not familiar, if they know the project management, but they don't know how to work in agile? Where can I?
I will be talking about that. Thank you.
Cool.
So, and now I'm shifting more from the theoretical part more to experience sharing part. So when I worked at Namecheap, and we had a team, like instructional design team of amazing, very talented instructional designers. But some things, they weren't working. And I want to devote this part to maybe sharing with you what weren't working and how we understood that we actually needed some change. And there will be three main key scenes. I will stop on each in detail, and maybe you can recognize some same things that are going on currently in your team or something that you had in your experience before. So the first one is that we started having very slow delivery time that was mainly caused by stakeholder changes and constant rework we had to do. And what were like indicators that like stakeholders change their requirements, that it turned out that what we deliver at the end is not matching what stakeholders expected to see. So that's why a few times we had to rework everything. So just toss what we had and start doing from scratch, which obviously shouldn't be like that, because we are losing time, we are losing money, and we are losing team motivation too. Especially when we are talking about team of like smart people, people with amazing skills, and of course, when they hear from stakeholders that their work is no longer fitting expectations, that's a huge sign that somewhere something went wrong, and it wasn't their skills. So the skills are not a problem. And the problem lay in lack of communication about expectations and about scope, and a lack of also, let's say, communication about like what will it take for us to meet these expectations as a team. So what stakeholders should expect from our team to deliver what they need, and if it's like too much time or too much resource, where stakeholders will be ready to go down, at which stage it will be enough for them, and everything above will be just I don't know, some additional features we can do. So same thing as with IT development, I guess. I never did it, but this is my vision for it. And of course, lack of checkpoints for feedback. So we didn't have them along the way because we didn't have like clear process for that. And one big deliverable instead of small iterations. So this is first one. The second one was significant delays when someone goes on vacation, gets sick, or just leaves the team. So like the business continuity was ruined. Like a person goes on vacation or a person gets sick for like more than 2 days, the work stops, nothing is going on. And no one else can step in because it's impossible. Like I will spend those days, the person will be doing like will be on vacation, for example. I will just spend it understanding the work process of this person, because we didn't have standardized process, and we didn't have like unified templates, and also lack of alignment on what was going on different projects. And so we were able to have like let's say we grew. When we had these problems, we had like 3-4 projects going on at the same time. And when we implemented agile practices and approaches and clear process, we had 10 projects ongoingly at the same time, and very well established business continuity. So it was no longer a problem that someone gets sick. And here the main thing is that one person may have some critical knowledge and critical skills that other people don't have. So the problem was laying also in weak cross-skilling. So that like it was kind of okay that only one person from a team is a holder of some specific skill, which shouldn't be like that. I think it's okay when some person is an expert in something, but other people also know it at least on some basic to medium level, so they can start doing it. And for that, for example, you can not only use upskilling and personal development plans, but also knowledge base in your team. And the last problem, like the third one, the third big problem we faced is and also about team. So an overloaded and unmotivated team with this "I'll do it better myself" attitude, which like right away signalized that there is problem with trust inside the team, and that like team is not collaborating. So the indicators was limited collaboration inside the team, the limited cross involvement into others teammates projects. So the teammates weren't using potential of other teammates to ideate, to brainstorm, to find solutions. Then sometimes an even workload distribution, like more senior and experienced teammates, they had like more projects, and juniors, they might like work only on one, which is like kind of okay and can be, but I think it shouldn't be in the amount of projects, but in complexity more, because we all work same time, like 40 hours a week. And the problem laid in no clear process, like firsthand, then lack of trust and awareness about each other's skill set. So, like, for example, I didn't know that my colleague, she knew JavaScript and she was able to support my storyline projects. Yeah, that's an example. But if I knew that, I would come to her, she can mentor me, or she can help me do something quickly, or guide me through this process, and that will result in a better final product. So I think this third one is like the most risky among those three, because the point 1 and 2 I named before, they're more risky in terms of time and money loss. So we're losing time, we're losing money. But this one is risky in terms of losing potential product excellence. So because unmotivated team can be disengaged, and they usually deliver bare minimum, right? So they don't have energy to innovate, they don't have energy to implement something new, and to be curious too in some way. And we're not also using skills potential. So getting back to your Valeria question, I won't stop. I will continue answering it, telling what we did, like on practice. But I won't stop for long here on how to run this change process, because I think it's a separate topic and entire discipline of implementing change inside organizations, inside the team. But here, just briefly go through this process. When you recognize that you need change, how you can like bring it to life. So first of all, I would start from articulating the value of it, like the why we're doing it and why we're doing it right now, to your team and to yourself first of all, if you're the one who is leading those changes, but also to your team. Then to create some visual assets of new processes and routines. Why we needed to have not only in our heads and not only just described with text in some Google Doc, but also visualized to communicate it to other people and to have this reference also for ourselves. Then adopt the change in the team. So co-create this change together to know what works best for this exact people in this exact environment and situation. And focus for them on the value for their daily work. So not to kind of tell them that you did it incorrectly and now here is the correct way how we will do from now on, and I'm your saver with this correct and right practices, but more like, okay, you were doing it like it was possible in that situation environment, but now I will help you, or we will help ourselves, or this is what we are doing because we want to make it even more effective than it used to be. So we want to make it effective and make it easier for us, because it's also about resources. So our goal is not to work more to bring better excellence, but actually to work less to have this better excellence of a product. And once the team understands it, it will be easier for them to do everything and they will face less risks. They're very willing to collaborate and to work on those changes together and to implement them. And then to align with stakeholders. This one, in my experience, was the toughest thing to do, because usually stakeholders, they don't understand why now we should do it differently, especially if we're talking about people who work in company or in company where people are not changing for a long time. They were doing something for 10 years in one way, and now we suggest them to change it, even though it's not their particular like field of work, but it's still their field of interest, like what our team is doing. They might be very resistant, and it will take not one time to go to them and to explain it. So here we need to like work very closely with stakeholders, explaining them the value they will get from this, and it's better to do it in numbers. So if we say it in numbers, this value, they will be more happy. So for example, you can say, okay, with those changes, we'll be able to deliver you this course not in 40 days, but in 25 days. But to do so, we will need to get your feedback along the way. And it will be the course that will be working then. Here, another thing, this misconception, actually, I brought this example about delivery days, and that's true. That's true. We achieve less delivery time because we have less risks and we don't need to rework things. But it's not necessarily less time than in waterfall approach, because all these feedback loops, they add additional days for us to our development, especially when we have a lot of stakeholders with who we should align, or like a lot of SMEs. Okay, and I think I'm not sure if we have enough time for everything, but I will try to be quickly. If not, I think it will be okay if we delay on like 7 minutes today. I hope so. So what exactly we did to achieve this agility with the team? So we implemented those changes and new practices in three different domains of our work. So in how we collaborate, how we work like with our processes, and how we manage risks. So, and for example, with processes, how do we work? For task tracking, we can use Kanban board, and we implemented Kanban boards, or it can be also any tool where you can see tasks, subtasks, where you can see priorities. Then it's very important to identify what needs to be standardized or unified. So where we can have templates, which workflows can be standardized or also automated, like what can be automated. And what will be our definitions of done. So when something is considered like delivered and done, and when not yet and it's under development. And then, of course, building, maintaining knowledge base with documentation, with learning library. First of all, it helps to onboard new team members very easily when you already have it. And secondly, for your current team members, it helps to find answers quickly and recollect some things also easily and quickly. So we built, for example, a big knowledge base with a lot of units, like starting with a stakeholder management, ending with some tools we're using and detailed instructions for them. So everything related to entire course development process was there, like in very detailed way described. And the best thing is that this knowledge base we co-created together with team members. So we decided who will be in charge of which part, and we were like doing it together, building it, and then receiving feedback from other team members what's missing. So everyone was involved. And now just a quick case, you can post your answer to the chat, or you can just turn on your mic. So imagine a situation, I mean, this real situation, don't need to imagine. So a team created a Jira board with all ongoing projects and tasks. And during the first few months, everyone updated it and reported on weekly stand-ups. But soon only one person continued doing this. So how do you think what went wrong and what we should do next to fix it? Oh, we don't need to fix it, just let this one person to update everything.
I would say that there wasn't dedicated person to do the updates, like everyone updating everything, and then they dropped it off along the way, and there was just one person left at the end to do that, which can be frustrating, I can imagine. So just potentially discussing and deciding who will own that task.
Yes and no. Yeah, I see what you mean. But one person can't own entire task to update all the Jira tickets for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's not possible, because this one person will be overloaded with that and will create like additional this information gathering loop that is not needed. But what you said about value, that's like, yeah, this is it. 100%. Thank you. Well, what other thoughts? What can be done in this situation? Yeah, Philip?
Yeah, I think value is part of the issue, but I am also wondering whether the value was communicated to at the early stage of going to Jira board, because Jira board is only a tool, but yeah, you need to work through it, maybe one or two iteration, and people start maybe
Yeah,
people
yeah, yeah.
see start to value. I'm not sure, but I think it's just the communication and at the early stage, and then the stakeholder expectation management
Yeah,
was probably the core
100%.
issue.
Yeah, 100%. It for sure there was a gap in communication. It wasn't communicated the value, but also what I see is that this exact tool and what then we realized doesn't fit this exact team and how we work, because the tool was overcomplicated for the needs the team had. So the team had different needs, and at the beginning the needs weren't even specified. So we were just doing it because we had to track our tasks and projects. But it's like, why do we need to track it? What do we need to get from tracking those projects? This was missing. And then when we replied to question like, okay, what exactly do we need? What will make it easier for us? How this tracking can bring us value, and which value we expect it to bring us? Then it helps us to find a tool that exactly served this specific need and that everyone was updating. That was different tool and was a bit different format of the board. So this can be also very individual. Regarding collaboration, how do we interact? So we started keeping everyone in the loop. So doing weekly updates, stand-ups, and shared project visibility. And we also see with those, again, there is no some specific formula. We started doing weekly updates, but then we saw that there is no value in weekly updates and it's too redundant for us. So we just started doing bi-weekly updates, and 1 week we did updates on the meeting, and then we did just updates on the chat another week. And then we just switched fully to updates in the chat, and we made this updates face-to-face more on other meetings, on other type of meetings. And focus on team skills and competence development. We created also RASI matrix for each process, especially for our main process, identifying also which role our different types of stakeholders will play in that and for what they will be responsible. And this RASI matrix, it also reduces this tension of expectations from the team. So the team right away knows what is expected from them too. This was very important, spot opportunities to match people to work together, to exchange. So I think this is more of a role of a team lead, because team lead has an opportunity to team lead knows everyone in the team and which skill set they have, but also a responsibility of each team member. That if you know that someone has the skill team can benefit, bring it up. I don't know. Go to this person, ask for help, ask for review, ask for coffee exchange, whatever. Get into each other's projects, which can be actually also a lot of fun. And risk management, that's really about business continuity and minimizing those loss. So, so documenting lessons learned and also having a specific dedicated space and knowledge base for those lessons learned. And doing retrospectives, like regular retrospectives. And retrospectives can be like different types. So for example, which approach I like regular retros, for example, once a month or once in 2 months. So it's already scheduled. And this is a retro on which you come and you're discussing some relevant topic, some patterns you see over those periods of time, and you can work on them and on the problems that appeared and how you resolve them and how you can do differently. But also it can be on-demand retrospectives for some specific projects, for example, big projects or projects with difficult stakeholders. Also being, reducing single person dependency, being transparent about what's happening on different levels in the organization, and spot the opportunities to reuse and optimize resources. So for example, if we have an illustrator who spent their time drawing for us illustrations bundle for some specific course, we over some time can reuse these illustrations for something else. We don't need to fully create new ones, or we can recolor them or something like that, which will also save us some time and resource. And here are some specific particular things we implemented. So this is Kanban board, this is team knowledge base, this is course development process, this is script and storyboard templates, which was the same for everyone. This is, we were limiting work in progress, setting the limit that no one is working on more than 2 projects at the same time to make it effective. We did RASI matrix, then regular catch-ups with stakeholders. It was just scheduled in calendar. Then automated chatbot with reminders where to add updates. Then scheduled also retros. What's important? Skills metrics. So team members understand how they can progress from one level to the next level and which skills they need, also to keep them accountable and aware of it. Together with a competency framework and PDPs, and innovation meeting. So innovation meeting was my favorite because that was a space to dream, to share new practices you found or new tools, where we just met specifically. We had like a rotating facilitator to discuss something this person brings up like once in a month. Yeah, and Valeria?
Yeah, Olena, quick question on these resources you just shared. Have you used them all at once, or were they used throughout the process?
So the process of creation and implementation of them is not, of course, like one day all together we start doing this, but generally this all can live in parallel, and this all should live in parallel, in my opinion, because I know where it was. Yeah. So course development process, it defines also our RASI matrix and how we collaborate with our stakeholders. Chatbot reminders connected to our Kanban boards that we are updating, like a team knowledge base and script and storyboard template also connected because you need it for your daily work, for example. And this roles, skills matrix and competency framework and innovation meetings, they help you develop your skills and grow in your role. So I think this all should be like, it's not like, of course, it's impossible to implement it at one day altogether, but evolutionary, this all are like pieces of one puzzle, I would say. And the frequent mistakes that stay on our way to implement in all these practices and agile practices, first of all, it's no feedback culture in the team, or let's say in the company, a fake feedback culture. So why it matters? Because in agile, you exchange a lot of feedback. You receive a lot of feedback, and it's not only like, oh, this is cool or this sucks. No, this should be like meaningful feedback that gives us something. This is something that feedback culture helps to form and perceive this feedback easily and resiliently. Like, well, yeah, this feedback not to me as a person, but to the work and to improve it. Also, as my observations showed, and I developed and launched a lot of courses, like I know 70, and that everything gets only better after stakeholders or teams feedback. Like it's never another way, it's only getting better. Then focus only on tools and frameworks. There's kind of similar example with this Jira board. So like, okay, we got this tool, our company bought it, we need to use exactly this tool because we don't know why, but yeah, this is the tool we are using. It won't work with that. And shock changes. So like changes are not coming overnight, changes are not coming tomorrow, and this is some gradual way towards them. And your exit ticket for today. So you can write in the chat one thing you will do differently in your team after our today's session. Or you can also turn on your mic and speak up, or you can write and someone else can ask questions. So I think I will be still here for 5-7 minutes. So if you have any questions or thoughts you want to share, please do it.
Maybe can I add one thing?
Please, one more time.
Can I add one thing if that's possible?
Yeah, of course.
Well, thank you so much for giving this webinar. It's really good. But I do think a lot of time it will be a combination of Agile waterfall for many of the projects, or at least the one that I, came across. Certainly in terms of industry-wide training, where there are impact, right? Small changes create huge impact. So my view is, yes, there can be certain sort of agile element within the small scale things. When it comes to small scale iteration, internal stakeholder engagement, but at some point there will be a big bang launch, which I feel that it's kind of like a waterfall approach from the external point of view. So for me, yeah, for me, it's a combination of different sort of technique. But
Yeah,
I do agree in principle it's a long process to implement agile to change your mindset.
Yeah, I'm just, I remember I used to work in one big bank that was a part of BNP Paribas in Ukraine, and we had like entire scene around agile transformation that was because it's like a huge structure with a lot of processes that was set like for decades. So it takes like really a lot of time and I also would maybe recommend if you if you want to implement those practices, or if you and you're new to Agile, or if you work on some big project, to involve some project manager or Agile coach, or maybe Scrum Master to help you to do this, because this person also will be able to independently
Yeah.
look from the side on your team and how you're operating without being prejudiced. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for sharing.
Well, thank you. Thank you for hosting the course, the training.
I think, Elena, we are perfect on time. For those who are new and don't know, we have different resources from the L&D Shakers. I shared our Notion page in the chat, and also our YouTube channel, where you can check out the recording of this session shortly, and also all our previous recordings. From Shakers, Elena, I want to give you big kudos for sharing your experience, for bringing us to the world of Agile in L&D. I think everyone was able to find something useful, and I hope we will do our first steps in the coming days to make Agile works in L&D.
Thank you, Valeria, for helping and organizing all this. And I mean, I'm always open to speak about Agile because it's my favorite topic to talk about. So, yeah, thank you. Thank you all for coming, and see you on LinkedIn or next L&D Shakers events.
Have a nice day, the rest of the day, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you for the session. Have a great day.
Thank you, everyone.
Ciao.